Good morning, good evening, good whatever it is, wherever you are. I don't know where you are. Hi, I'm Jess, and these are my reindeers. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about their antlers today. So this is Boomer. She's mum, and she's very lazy with her antlers. As you can see, most of the velvet is still on. So the velvet is comprised of the fur and the skin underneath, and normally this sheds off in big clumps like Lexi's does, but not Boomer. She has to be different. So you can see little bits of bone underneath, and you can see some of the fur that's come off, but she's very different to Lexi. Lexi, when he starts to go into shed, he seems to want his velvet off absolutely immediately, and it looks gross. And Boomer doesn't tend to like that. She tends to let it get a little bit leathery. It does eventually come off. Sometimes she needs a bit of a helping hand. As you can see here, it's very different in texture completely. She tends to let it dry out a bit more. I've no idea why, but I think she's just lazy, to be honest. Here you can see where the velvet is coming away from the base, and you can see little bits of green where she's been rubbing it against trees. She's also a bit late with her winter coat. She's still pushing out some of the summer coat. She's just a bit late in everything, really. But that is normal for the girls, whereas the boys tend to have their antlers fully developed and drop off before Christmas, which is spectacular, really. This does mean that all of Santa's reindeers were most likely female, which is super interesting. You can see here as well that Lexi has a little bit of a straight edge on his antlers right at the front. There, you can see it a bit better there. This is because every year when his velvet grows, he tends to get little lumps on it, which means we have to get it cut off, which our lovely vet does every year for us. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about how antlers work. So when they grow in, I'm going to use the analogy like a banana, okay? So when they grow in, they grow with the velvet on, and they grow nice and tall until they are ready to shed. Now, when they're ready to shed, it means that on the inside, the bone has calcified, and this means that it's nice and solid. Now, when they're growing in the beginning, the antlers are made mainly of the velvet, which is carrying a nice blood supply, and then the antler calcifies underneath it. And when the bone's nice and solid, it doesn't need the blood supply anymore, so the nerve endings die and the blood supply goes away and it peels off. Kind of like a banana. So banana grows in with the banana on the inside, and when it's ripe, you peel the skin off. You just don't eat antlers. Please don't eat antlers. I do not condone that whatsoever. I don't think Santa would either. So this time of year is a little bit dangerous for us as keepers, because this means that it's rutting season, breeding season for Lexi. He is a boy and he is very boisterous. Now, I'm very lucky. I've been with him his entire life, and this means I read his body language really well. So that means that if he's having an off day or if he's having a hyper-aggressive day, I know what to do and how to stay away from him. And Boomer gives him the odd nudge as well. Now, because of this, I also know when he wants help getting the velvet off, and I just give it a nice tug when he wants it. But if it's not ready to come off, what I do is I just cut it and I let him do the rest when it's ready to come off, because I'm not about to pull something off that's not ready. Generally speaking, these two are as good as gold, but Lexi does have his off moments. I'm sure Santa didn't have this problem. I'm sure he's got really good reindeer.